That intro music was pretty awesome. But I think the greatest intro music ever in history for this Palm Sunday goes something. Wait, what? You want me to? Do you want me to sing it or just tell you?
You can sing it.
The King of Glory comes, the nation rejoices. Open the gates before I lift up your voices. Who is the King? So I did. No one had seen that Stephen Colbert video.
That's so funny.
It was like mid 2000s, and I pulled it off as a dance routine, and then it was brilliant. I loved every second of it.
That's hilarious.
Oh, well, hello. Happy Palm Sunday. Happy Jesus
Holy Week.
Yeah, Jesus is our King, and we're about to crucify him. Long live Jesus. Long live Jesus. Crucify him.
It turns pretty quickly, doesn't it?
That is the heart of human being. Welcome back to another fantabulous award-winning episode of the Pastors of Pain broadcast. Is it a broadcast?
It's a podcast.
A show? Did I just say
it's a podcast broadcast?
Podcast broadcast?
Radio show?
Yeah, something along those lines. I'm Father Kerry, John Wakulich, pastor of St. John Catholic Student Center on the corner of Miller and Knobloch. And I'm here with my amigo, the other priest in Payne County. You know him as Father Brian O'Brien. I know him as Father Brian O'Brien. Why don't you tell them what they want, Father
Brian O'Brien. People call me Father Brian O'Brien. We're glad you joined us. A lot of people say that Christmas is the most wonderful time of the year.
That is one of my favorite songs.
And Christmas is great. Let's not downplay Christmas, but let me downplay Christmas. It's Holy Week. It's called Holy Week for a reason. Because it is the holiest week of the year. There is so much happening liturgically this week. So this airs Palm Sunday morning. Uh-huh. Tell us what happens if you show up at a Catholic church on Palm Sunday.
Hyssop branches.
You're gonna get free stuff.
Branches. You're gonna get free palm branches. You got free carbon to begin Lent with, and at the end of Lent, you're getting free palm branches.
A small sliver of palm.
Yeah, that you can wave in the air.
So
like
then
you just
what?
Don't care.
Like why? You walk in. I mean, that would be if you were like going to a Catholic church for the first time and you walked in and someone was like, here's a plant. You're like, what is this going? I always knew Catholics were weird, but now they're really weird.
Well, we always do a procession, so we don't hand out palm branches at the door. We make people go in to pray, and they're like, "Can I have a palm?" And you're like, "No, you can't have a palm because I haven't blessed them yet." And so we always start outside in the courtyard, and we begin the Palm Sunday procession outside with the gospel of that day, because there's a gospel to begin, and then
you do the gospel outside.
Wow. Yeah, it's gonna be legit. I love every
It's
second.
gonna be off the chain, as
off
they say.
The hitch.
Okay, so you come. So the mass starts. I mean, so it's very different than every other Catholic mass. Mass starts with not in the front of the church, as usual.
Right.
It starts with the proclamation of the gospel.
Yeah. And then the procession.
Jesus' entry,
into Jerusalem.
triumphant entry into Jerusalem.
Yeah, and the people follow in. It's beautiful. It's a great moment on Palm Sunday to see the people coming in. They're praising the Lord. The priest wears white.
Yep.
It's a glorious day in the life of the church. But then it all goes downhill.
Yeah, so then we start with his triumphant entry, and then at the gospel, at the time of the gospel, we read the Passion.
Yeah.
We read of Jesus's his trial and his torture and his death.
We start off with, "He's the Son of David. Hosanna to the Son of David. Hosanna, we've been waiting for you. Crucify him."
Yeah.
Crucify him.
And also all that happens just at Palm Sunday.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's a swing of emotions.
All right, so then we enter into Holy Week with Palm Sunday. Then
we quickly
the next big thing. So there's like what we call the Monday of Holy Week, and there's Mass that day. So then, at least in the Diocese of Tulsa, on Tuesday, something very special happens. But it doesn't always have, depending on where you live.
Yeah.
Here in the Diocese of Tulsa, we do it on Tuesday. But other places do it on Wednesday or Thursday or Monday. But anyway, and it's called the Chrism Mass.
Yes.
The Mass of the Oils.
And the renewal of priestly promises. You can't. Yeah, you have to do it before the Easter Vigil because you need the oils for the Easter Vigil.
Right. So here in Tulsa, in the Diocese of Tulsa in eastern Oklahoma, we do our Chrism Mass on Tuesday evening at Holy Family Cathedral in Tulsa, downtown Tulsa, 8th and Boulder, I think it is.
Yeah.
What I think a lot of people don't know, a lot of people have never been to a Chrism Mass.
I'd never been to a Chrism Mass till I went to seminary.
Me too.
And I was like, what the heck is this?
This is awesome. Why didn't I not go to this more?
And they were renewing their priestly promises, the priests were, and I let one slip out of my mouth the first time. They say,
like, I do.
I do. Do you promise respect and obedience? What?
So the Chrism Mass, multiple things happen. It's in one sense obviously a celebration of the Eucharist, but also a celebration of the priesthood, in that the priests of the diocese, and I don't know, it's not all of us because some guys are old or whatever, but it's a big chunk of us.
Yeah,
I'll bet it's 90% of the priests of Tulsa are together at the cathedral. We surround our bishop, the head of our local church, and we renew the promises that we made back when we were ordained.
Yeah.
And we promise respect and obedience to our bishop. We renew our promise to pray every day with and for the people of God.
Mm-hmm.
We renew our promise of celibacy for the kingdom.
What's up?
And it's awesome. It's just awesome. So anyway, I think is it at 5:30? Double check this, but I think it's at 5:30 on that Tuesday night, this Tuesday of Holy Week.
I heard it was at 5:45.
I think we don't.
Oh, dude, you're gonna be late.
No, but then actually the cool part too, though, is that the priests of Tulsa, we actually gather kind of that whole day. We do like a priest day of prayer. We bring in a speaker. I don't know who the speaker is. I haven't looked that far ahead.
It's always good.
Always good. So we bring in a speaker who speaks to us on some spiritual theme, the priesthood, and then we have a Eucharistic Holy Hour. Mm-hmm. The opportunity for confession.
Ooh, I always go.
Guys who want to go, I love going. And then we have the Chrism Mass, and then after the Chrism Mass, we have a dinner where we celebrate the priesthood and our brotherhood as priests.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's wonderful. The only weird part, I must say, I don't know how many priests listen to this, but the weird part is at the end of that dinner, this happens every year. At the end of that dinner, as guys are leaving, everyone's like, "Happy Easter, Happy Easter, like," and I'm like, no, stop it.
I thought you were going to say something different.
It's Tuesday of Holy Week. Stop telling me Happy Easter. And then the same thing happens in Advent. It's the first Tuesday of Advent. Christmas is like 3 weeks away, but we're not going to see each other anymore. So guys are like, "Merry Christmas." I'm like, nah, stop it.
I thought you were going to say something else. Read my mind. What did you think?
I have no idea.
Go ahead.
I have no idea. Your mind is blank.
The one thing that always happens when 100 priests gather together, somebody loses their black coat.
Oh, man.
You know what you have to do? The way to save your black coat, if you do wear a sport coat.
Always wear it.
Always wear it inside out. Like, put it on the hanger and pull the sleeves out. And so a person walks in and was like, "This ain't my coat." Or you just go with polka dots. And so that's the road. I've gone down the road.
Guys, this is, in the priest world, there are certain guys who, and this is not me, so I'm able to, make fun of them. Like I have a suit coat, right? I had two, but one of them got stolen out of the back of my car one time. So now I just have one. But honestly, I don't like treat it that well. It's in the back seat of my car. It's hanging over a chair. But there's guys who they have straight up garment bags, nice garment bags. And then they also come with really nice hangers, clothes hangers.
And I steal theirs.
And what happens at priest gatherings, so picture this. Picture in Tulsa at least, and we're a small diocese, there's 50, 60 priests. And you come back to get your coat. And you just take whatever hanger it's on. So the guys who bring really nice hangers are always ticked at the end of the night. They're like, "Where's my hanger? Who took my?" And I'm like, "Oh, here's a cruddy metal one." And they're like, "No, I brought."
It came from a dry cleaner.
I brought a nice hanger. I'm like, "I don't know. I didn't bring a hanger. I just wore it in and threw it over a chair." So anyway, that's the Chrism Mass.
Yeah.
So that's on Tuesday night here in the Diocese of Tulsa. So that Tuesday night, 5:30, I think it is.
Yeah.
It's a wonderful experience. Bring kids, bring families. Wonderful. So then Wednesday happens, which is the The Wednesday of Holy Week. Nothing,
I think that's
nothing special.
The Wednesday.
But then we enter into the 3 holiest days of the year: Holy Thursday, Good Friday, and Holy Saturday.
Yeah.
Into Easter. Tell us what happens, Father Kerry. What happens on Holy Thursday?
Holy Thursday, the beautiful liturgy of the washing of the feet of the Lord's Supper. Yeah.
You're telling me that you're going to wash people's feet?
Yeah. And the washing of the feet, the re-representation of the 12 apostles and Jesus washing their feet, preparing them for heaven. Washing their feet, preparing them for heaven, and as Jesus says, what I have done to you, now do for each other. It's a beautiful liturgy.
You know what I have done for you.
Did you just make that into music?
You call me your teacher and your Lord. No, I love that. This is.
I've never heard that song.
You haven't?
No.
Takes my breath away.
Oh boy,
so good. Okay, so Holy Thursday, celebration of the Eucharist.
Yes.
Celebration of the priesthood.
Yep.
The institution of the priesthood and the Eucharist.
And at the end of it, the transfer of the Blessed Sacrament.
From where are we transferring?
Well, at St. John, we transfer it from the altar to the side altar. But we go on a procession around the block. So we go around.
You go around the church?
Yeah, we go around the block. And then.
Not just in the church.
And then go down the street and then come back. Well, I am a man.
When I cut, I bleed.
Well, I'm a mere mortal, just like you. So we do a Eucharistic procession, and then when we come back, they have decorated the St. Joseph altar. The lights are on in that corner, and whammo, we have Eucharistic adoration till 11:59. Now, what we used to do in Denver, because we lived in the Highlands, we had 7 parishes in the Highlands. We would do a visit to the we'd pick up 5 parishes.
Ooh.
And we'd take a 20-minute stop at all these different parishes, and they would have altars reserved. So Our Lady of Guadalupe, Our Lady of Mount Carmel, St. Catherine of Siena, 44th and Federal. A Lady of Mount Carmel, St. Patrick's Convent. There's 4. If I can remember,
that's too many. Too many Denver churches.
St. Mary Magdalene, 29th and Sheridan. We would make this loop and visit all these parishes and spend 20 to 30 minutes in prayer there. So to make basically like a holy hour. Could you not spend? Jesus says, 1 hour with me. And so this night, spend it with the Lord, because He celebrates His
adoration until midnight.
Yeah, He begins liturgy of the Passover. And the Passover doesn't end. You remember, there's 4 parts to the Passover.
Tell me.
There are the cups of wine and the psalms that are sung at the Passover. And what's really awesome is that He finishes what? He doesn't do the 4th cup at the Passover. And so the psalm and the cup are at the cross. So the liturgy of Thursday of the Passover of the Lord Jesus Christ does not end till He sings the psalm and drinks the wine on the cross. Boom! Passover is complete, and here is the Lamb. Okay, maybe I jumped a little far.
No, that's good. Check out Scott Hahn on the 4th cup.
Yeah.
On the 4th cup.
Yeah, it's really
There's
brilliant.
Awesome, we've mentioned this before, but there's also a wonderful book by a guy named Brant Pitre, Pitre.
Oh, yes.
And it's called The Jewish Roots of the Eucharist.
Uh-huh.
Wow. That'll open up the senses. And then he just wrote another book called The Jewish Roots of Mary, which I have not read yet, but I really want to.
Yeah. So Holy Thursday is this beautiful liturgy of being with the Lord Jesus, being with the 12 apostles, being in that room prepared, and celebrating the Passover, the Exodus, because this is what the Passover is. It is the flight from Egypt. It is, where are we? We're in Egypt, and we're going on this Exodus, and the Lord is taking us with Him. Freedom from sin, freedom from death.
Love it.
And no longer, it's one of the early church fathers. I think it's Maximus the Confessor, but I've never been able to find it. And he says, like, as once the lamb at the Passover was painted on the doorposts of the house to keep the angel of death from destroying the children of Israel, so today the blood of the new lamb is painted on the doorposts of the lips of the house of the children of God to protect them from death. So Holy Thursday,
going on right there.
Holy Thursday is not just like, well, there it is. And the first time I think I ever went, I assume my parents took me at some point in time, but it was not until like I lived out on my own. I think
it's hard on families because it's like 7:00 at night.
Yeah, ours is 5:15. What time is yours?
7:00 at night.
Oh, mine's at 5:15. So we tried to do them like right after school ends, so students can come over and then go and get their stuff.
You're just different.
We are different. Okay, so what's after Holy Thursday?
So Holy Thursday, there's adoration of the Blessed Sacrament after Mass until midnight at both places, both churches here in Stillwater. So then on Good Friday, it ramps up. We're doing Stations of the Cross at 2:00.
Yeah.
And then the celebration of the Lord's Passion at 7 p.m.
Celebrated the Lord's Passion at 7.
Good Friday. It's a Good Friday service. What's very interesting, though, what a lot of people do not know, is that on Good Friday, we do not celebrate Mass.
Yeah. That's right.
It's the only day of the year where we do not celebrate Mass. Now, you can receive the Eucharist. But what we do in churches all over the world is you consecrate enough hosts on Thursday so that you can distribute on Good Friday. But the Mass is not celebrated. Why? Because Jesus is dead. And the sacraments are encounters. Every sacrament is an encounter with the risen Lord.
Right.
And so we don't celebrate the Mass. I actually have a good priest friend. I won't name him because this theologically, I don't know. I haven't read up on this, but he doesn't even hear confessions on Good Friday or Holy Saturday because in his mind, Christ is dead. The sacraments should not be offered. And we don't. I mean, we don't do weddings. Right. Weddings are not allowed on Good Friday or Holy Saturday. Funerals. We don't do funerals on those days. Now, I do hear confessions, and I think you do too.
Yeah, Thursday night I'm going to hear confessions. Right up till the end of adoration.
But anyway, so Christ is dead. I mean, so Good Friday is, and we call it, interestingly, Good Friday.
Oh, happy fault.
Even though God dies.
Oh, happy fault, oh, necessary sin of Adam.
Yeah, no, because no Good Friday, no Easter Sunday. But we're not there yet.
Okay, sorry.
So we've had Holy Thursday. We've had now Good Friday. Actually, one more thing on Good Friday. We do the veneration of the cross.
Yeah.
Where people come forward and actually kiss the cross.
Mm-hmm.
And that, I think, weirds some people out a little bit because, like, why would you... You're like kissing, a sign of reverence to an instrument of torture and death. Like, yes.
Yeah,
yes.
100%.
Yes. Because without the cross, we don't have the resurrection.
No salvation.
Yep. His death, it's not just all about the resurrection. It's his death that brought about our salvation. So that happens on Good Friday. So then on Saturday is kind of quiet. Why? Because Jesus is in the tomb. He's in the tomb. But then...
Whoa, hold on.
What? Tell me.
Okay, most people don't know what to do with Holy Saturday. What are some recommendations to do with Holy Saturday? Because they think, Holy Saturday, well, I got to
mow my lawn.
I have to go get some eggs for the Easter bunny. Oh, okay, by the way, bunnies don't poop eggs. I just want to clear that up. And it kind of infuriates me as an Eastern Catholic that in the Western world, in America, we have this like, the chutzpahs to just like, do what? To like paint eggs and then hide them as if some Easter bunny brought them. No, remember the story of Mary Magdalene. And if you don't know the story of Mary Magdalene and the Easter egg, then you should go do some reading about it. And it is this beautiful story about the resurrection. So, before you start jumping on burying Easter eggs or hiding Easter eggs, give a little education to your kids, because most adults don't know the story of the Easter egg. So, Mary Magdalene, comma, Easter egg, comma, I don't know why you put commas in there if you're going to hit Google search and do
find
it.
out.
Yeah.
Jim Gaffigan has a line where he says, Easter, the day Jesus rose from the dead, what should we do? How about eggs? Well, what does that have to do with Jesus? All right, we'll hide them. I don't follow your logic. Don't worry, there's a bunny.
That's absolutely true. Welcome to America, where we turn everything into an economic machine. So look up Mary Magdalene. Okay, Saturday.
So yeah, what should people do on Saturday?
We have Tenebrae on Saturday morning, where we sing the Psalms of Lamentation.
What time is that going down?
That is at, I think it's at 5:15
in the morning?
Yeah, a.m.
Get out.
And we have about 50 students that show up. We started doing it at TU a couple years ago, but where we got it from, we started doing it in the seminary, Tenebrae, and then the Benedictine monks would do it. So it's this night vigil, this early vigil for the Triduum. But this is the reading from Holy Saturday. And the title of the reading is by an anonymous writer of the 2nd century.
Tell me.
The Lord's Descent into Hell. And so it says, okay, listen to this perspective. What is happening today? Today there is a great silence over the earth. A great silence and stillness. A great silence because the king sleeps. I love this line. The earth was in terror and was still, because God slept in the flesh and raised up those who were sleeping from the ages. God has died in the flesh, and the underworld has trembled.
Dun, 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 dun.
Truly, he goes to seek out our first parents like a lost sheep. He wishes to visit those who sit in darkness and in the shadow of death. He goes to free the prisoner Adam and his fellow prisoner Eve from their pains. He who is God and Adam's son. And so the whole story is like, Jesus, what is he doing? He ain't just laying there in the grave with I don't know, like playing Pokemon Go. He ain't laying there in the grave playing Fortnite. He's like, I gotta be here a Fortnite. Playing Fortnite. He's not just laying there just hanging out. He's going down into Sheol.
Well, we say, in the Apostles' Creed, we say he descended into hell.
Yeah. And that's a whole nother, we could talk about that in a catechism talk sometime.
I did a 10-page paper on that line.
Did you really?
That was intense.
It is intense.
We could do a whole show on that.
Yeah, so Jesus goes down, and what is he doing? He's freeing them. He's opening the kingdom of God for them. He's opening heaven for them.
For believers.
Uh-huh. And so maybe something like that, a 2nd century homily. It's from the Office of Readings of the Priestly Office, but you can find it online.
Yep.
For Holy Saturday. So Holy Saturday is a great opportunity to go do some resting, to think upon these things, to work in the garden.
Contemplate your own death.
Yeah. Remember that you ain't getting out of this world alive. Huh.
Oh.
It's even a good time to take a nap, too.
I'd get a nap in. I'm probably going to get a nap in.
I'd get 3
Probably hear
of them.
some confessions and then get a nap in.
Okay. So what else are some people who could do on Holy Saturday?
Well, yeah, it's meant to be a day. I mean, it's kind of it's an unusual day. There's no mass.
Yeah.
That morning, there's no mass. I mean, during the day.
Mm-hmm.
And in fact, the evening mass, the Easter vigil, cannot start until sundown.
Right.
So we get this great. I love that email that we get every year. We get an email from the bishop's office, which tells us what is the earliest possible time you can start your Easter vigil. And this year it's 8:30.
8:30.
What time is yours?
We start at 9.
Okay, good. We're starting at 8:30.
Uh-huh.
You cannot start until sundown. The sun goes down, and then Christ rises from the dead.
Okay.
The most important, I'm going to say this. I'm going to say it with confidence.
Please.
The most important historical event ever.
Change the world.
The resurrection
The history
of Christ
of the world.
from the dead. And so we move into the Easter Vigil. This is another thing that I don't really remember. And again, my parents are, I'm not blaming my parents. I got 5 little kids, and it's not ideal to take 5 small children to a mass at 8:30 at night.
It's not as entertaining as Disney World.
Definitely not. And so the Easter Vigil begins, and what I love is it begins in darkness. The church is dark. If you've never been, please go. Please go, wherever you are. If you're in Stillwater, come to us. And it begins in darkness. And then by the one single light, the light of the Easter candle, the Paschal candle, also known as that really big candle. From that light, which is lit from the Easter fire, which is one of the cool things about the Easter Vigil is as a priest, I get to bless a fire. You never get to bless fire. You think of fire as like destructive. It's not something you bless. But we bless the Easter fire, the Easter candle is lit, and then from the Easter candle comes all of the other candles in the church are then lit. And what happens is, over a very short period of time, the church goes from being dark to being very well lit because of the candles.
My favorite part about Easter Sunday morning, cleaning up wax on pews. I love
last year was a total mess at St. Francis Xavier. So I always make notes afterwards. We used, first year in the new church, total rookies. The candles we used were so bad. There was wax everywhere.
Really?
So we got a lot better.
What did you upgrade for?
We got the really nice kind of plastic cups that like go around the candles. Oh, yeah.
Smart move.
So I'm sure there'll be some wax because there'll be some joker who's like, I'm going to put that.
We just use red Solo cups I find in the...
find in the dumpster?
No, I'm not going to use that for the Holy Liturgy.
Okay, just
kidding. I don't use red Solo cups. They are the cheapest in a college town.
Definitely are. So there's the Easter Vigil, which then also has, it's a long mass. So buckle up.
How many readings you doing?
We're doing 6.
Whoa.
7?
You're doing 3 of the Old Testament. Because there's how many readings possible?
I think, I don't know.
9?
12? 9?
No, there's not 12.
9?
I think there's the New Testament reading, the Gospel, and 5 or 6 from the Old Testament.
Huh. Oh, I didn't say on Good Friday we're singing the Gospel. We're chanting it.
Are you really?
The choir and me.
Oh.
So I'm practicing. It's really hard. I'm really nervous. So anyway, the Easter Vigil, lots of readings. It kind of walks through the history of salvation.
Yeah, with the Exultet.
And then the Mass. And then the Mass is celebrated. But also the awesome thing about the Easter Vigil is people become Catholic.
Yeah.
So people who are not baptized are baptized. People who have already been baptized in another Christian tradition are confirmed and receive First Holy Communion. It's awesome.
It's a beautiful liturgy.
So
it is.
Awesome.
So I better start planning this thing.
I know. I'm kind of nervous, actually, now that we're talking about it.
And we always throw a big party afterwards.
I'm thinking, like, is that ready? Do we have the candles? Oh, my gosh. Yeah. Anyway.
We always throw a big party.
I'm making notes over here.
You need to throw a big party afterwards. We used to brew our own beer.
Don't tell me how to run my parish.
Well, someone needs to.
Oh,
shots
Church
fired.
slam. Pastor slam.
Yeah.
But then Easter Sunday morning, for us, we have Mass regular times, 8:30 a.m., 11:15 a.m., 1 p.m., and Espanol. Do you have a Sunday morning Mass?
Yeah, 10 a.m.
10 a.m., okay.
Yeah,
good.
and then the other one's at, 9 o'clock, 8:45.
And then we begin, the season of Easter. But we won't talk about that because we're not there yet. Still Lent.
We're not even.
Still Lent, people.
I got to get through the Holy Week first, dude.
We can do it.
Okay.
It's going to be awesome. But anyway, go to all these things. Go to them.
Yes.
You will not regret it.
I highly encourage you.
We highly encourage you. We demand it. Thanks so much for listening. As always, we're the Pastors of Pain.
Always a joy.
Tune in on SoundCloud, Apple Podcast, Spotify, Pete 94.3. And have a great Lent and a great Holy Week.
Pray for us. Pray for all your priests. God bless you.